All right, so tonight we are getting ready for Yutes Kislev, which is coming up Thursday night, B'ezrat Hashem. And Yutes Kislev is known as the Rosh Hashanah of Chassidus. This is called the Chag HaGeula. So this is the day every year that we celebrate the essence of Chassidut, because this is the day that the first Lubavitch Rebbe, Shem Zaman of the Adi, that he was released from jail. Okay, and he understood that the fact that he was released from jail, it wasn't just a personal thing, it was a very, very Klal Yisrael kind of thing, and that the reason why he was put in jail was because there was something not okay someone was upset at the world of Chassidus, and the fact that he was redeemed, the fact that he escaped, that he was released, so that was a victory of Chassidus in the world, and it's from that day of Geula, from that redemption, that we are practicing and studying and celebrating Chassidus until today. So the last Lubavitch Rebbe, so he said one year in the name of his father-in-law that the Alter Rebbe himself, that the Baal HaTanya himself said that whoever celebrates B'simchasi, whoever is going to celebrate in my happy day, in the day of my redemption, so he will leave me tzara legeula, that he will be from min hametzer, that he will leave from the enclosement, from all of any personal enslavement and the being stuck, that he will go to Revacha. And so certainly, like more than any year, I mean that like it's already the second year that we're waiting for our hostages to be freed, but without Hashem, that this Yad Kislev should be a real koach, a real energy, a light of Geula for everybody. And there's something about this that the more that we're celebrating Chassidus, that's something that's going to somehow bring our Geula. It's going to somehow bring the redemption to every single person individually, and specifically the people that are physically in this being trapped and being held captive. And there's something about Chassidus that the Lubavitch Rebbe would say, the name of Pinchas Mikoret, that we have to understand that when we're talking about Chassidus, we're talking about Geula. I mean that we're talking about this. They call it the Chag HaGeula, the day of redemption, and it's the day of Chassidus. That Chassidus is about Geula, or in other words, that Chassidus is about Mashiach. Okay, and this is on two levels. Number one, there's a famous story that the Baal Shem Tov relates, that he once met up with the soul of the Mashiach, and he asked the Mashiach that Emasai Kasimar, that when are you going to come? It's enough already. And the soul of Mashiach answered to the Baal Shem Tov, that when your well springs of knowledge, when they spread out to the outside, so then I'm ready to come. Okay? Meaning that the thing that is going to bring the Geula is the fact that the world is going to be flooded with Chassidus. Like that is what we need, what the world needs for the Geula to come, is that the world should become a little bit more Chassidish, maybe a lot more Chassidish, and baby steps, and the greater level. So the Lubavitch Rebbe would say from Rav Pinchas Mikoret that there's a question that he asked, and that is that there's an interesting thing that the Zohar, which is the source of Jewish mysticism, so it was only revealed much later after it was written. Okay, it was revealed by a rabbi named Moshe Delion, and he revealed these manuscripts of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai and Rabbi Abba and Rabbi Lazar and like all of the Rabbi Yitzchak and all of the Tanaim that were in the Chavra of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, and he revealed them like many years, thousands something years after it was written down, and to the point that it's so strange. Like why was it missing all these years? Why like there was Kabbalah in mysticism, in Judaism, was something that practically didn't exist. It was that, like the Ramban, he writes about like every once in a while he writes like a little thing like and according to the truth. That's his code word for Kabbalah. That according to the truth. So it could be this. And he says like some enigmatic 2 or 3 words, and that's what, and like you're not supposed to understand, and that's, he's just telling you, by the way, that you don't know what you don't know. And there's something about that it was lacked. It was like to the fact that Kabbalah is called Sod. It's called the secrets. So like some people think that the reason why it's called Sod is because a lot of people don't know it. Like that's not why it's called Sod. It's called Sod because the content is something which is just beyond us. But it was missing. It was missing it was not part of the conversation for a long, long time. And why was that? And so Pinchas Mikart said that the person sometimes going through a deep, dark tunnel, and he starts, and he gets, and there's a little bit of light. And there's light from the outside, and he's going and going, and eventually he gets that there's no more light. There's no more light from where he come from. It's completely dark, and he's going in the complete darkness for a long, long time, and then suddenly there's a little bit of light, and that's a little bit of light coming from the other side. So Pinchas Mikart explained that the Torah, the world of Torah, so it went through a certain kind of renaissance. It went through it with when in times of Chazal after Churban Abayis, after the destruction of Second Temple. So Torah had an amazing renaissance, amazing. The amount of Torah, the discussions, then the depth was amazing, and then it developed into the Rishonim, and it got bigger and bigger and bigger, and more understood, and then there was this dark age. There was the dark age of Torah, and like it stopped, like the people stopped producing, and then after this dark age, so that's when the Zohar was revealed. And so Pinchas Mikart says that all of the Shas, and that was all coming from the Beis HaMikdash, which is all coming from Har Sinai, which is all coming from that first light. And then at some point, so that first light became too far away, too detached, and then there was a darkness because we were too far from the source of the light of Har Sinai, and then after the darkness came the light from the other side, and that's the light of Mashiach. Because the Zohar is the light of Mashiach. Because it's through the Zohar, it's through Hasidus that the Mashiach is going to come. The reason is because the Torah of Hasidus is the Torah that is necessary for us to internalize in order to become worthy of having a Geula. Okay, so when we're talking about Hasidus, the Torah of Hasidus is the Torah of Geula. The Torah of Hasidus is the thing that the world is waiting for us to become worthy of redemption. And so the more that we're able to celebrate, the more that we're able to connect to the world of Hasidus. So this is truly how we're going to be connected to the actual redemption. So now, just to understand what we're talking about, what is the difference between Kabbalah and Hasidus? And because I've been using these 2 words interchangeably a bit so far in this class, and so the Kabbalah is the world of mysticism. It's the world of divinity. It's the world of understanding the secrets of Hashem, and there's something dangerous about learning Kabbalah, because the Kabbalah is something that you have to be worthy to be learning Kabbalah. If you're not on a high enough spiritual level, so then it's actually dangerous for a person to learn Kabbalah. And the Rechaim Vital writes that if you're not holding on a certain spiritual level, that the demons are going to get you, and people have died because of this, and people have gone crazy because of this, and it's really not good for your soul to be learning Kabbalah. Now, what's Chassidus? Chassidus is that these holy people took the wisdom of Kabbalah and they put it into something which is relevant. They put it into something which is palatable, into something which is really just relevant to our lives, which is that to take that wisdom and to take from that wisdom that it should be something that is going to teach you how to be a better Jew. It's going to tell you that because I have this understanding, that's why I'm going to be keeping Shabbos differently. Because I have this new understanding, now I'm going to be davening differently, now I'm going to be treating my family differently. That is to take the ideas of Kabbalah, to make it practical, to make it relevant. So that is exactly what Chassidus is. And so that is something that is actually relevant for everybody. but because of this connection between Hasidus and Kabbalah, so this was the accusation, this was the allegation against the Baal HaTanya, against the first Lubavitcher Rebbe, that for which he was incarcerated, and he understood when he was in jail for these during these 50-something days, so he understood that the reason why he was incarcerated was because there was a certain kitruk, there's this allegation against him for the fact that he was spreading the secrets of Torah. Okay, meaning that he was spreading very deep ideas of Judaism, and there was this argument against him, this accusation against him that how dare you, you're telling every simple people that the secrets of the world, who says they're worthy, what are you doing? And so the Baal HaTanya, so he said in a Torah that there was actually an answer to this allegation, to this accusation, and that is as follows: that there was once a king that his son was very, very sick, and he was so sick that he was going to die, and brought doctor after doctor. Nobody knew what to do, and then one day they brought the greatest doctor in the land, and he came and he checked up the kid, and he was thinking, what should he do? He told the king as follows. He says that I think I know what's the issue. I think I know that how to save your child, but it's something that I can't really tell you that I want to do this, and that is because there's a certain stone that if we crush up the stone, that when we mix it with a certain potion, so then if you throw it over the kids and in a certain way, so maybe 1 or 2 drops will enter his mouth, and maybe this will save him. But the thing is that this stone that has the special quality, it's the crown jewel of your crown. It's without this, it's going to ruin your crown. The only stone that exists like this is in your crown, and we would need to take this jewel from your crown, and that was going to ruin your crown. So I would never say such a thing that you should ruin your crown, but if you would do such a thing, that's the only thing that could save your child. And so the king said that without flinching, that of course I'm going to do that. That it's true that I love my son, I love my crown very much, but I love my son more than I love my crown. And so the Baal HaTanya said that is how Hashem looks at us. That is true. That to take the secrets of Torah and to spread it to the masses. So how can you do such a thing? That's it's taking the crown jewel and you're just destroying it, and you're just wasting it, and you're just giving it to people who don't deserve it. But Hashem says, it's okay. I realize that in a certain sense, my honor is actually being degraded by the secrets of divinity are being spread to the masses. But I love my son more than I love my crown. And that after this dark age, after we've been in such a down, that Hashem knows that we're just passing out. Hashem knows that we're barely surviving. Hashem knows that our neshamas are just dead, are just black, that we're dead. We're just dead, and He knows that the only thing that's going to wake us up is this Torah. The Torah, the deepest secrets, is the only thing that can wake us up. It's the only thing that can inspire us, and Hashem cares so much about us that we should be alive, that we should wake up, that we should be able to be in touch with reality. So even though it's actually something that doesn't make sense, the fact that we're learning the secrets of the world, it's something that we should have to be huge tzaddikim, we should have to fast, we should have to be like the biggest righteous people in the world, and that it doesn't make sense. But Hashem is okay with it because He knows that this is exactly what our souls need. He knows that without this, so then we wouldn't be able to connect. So the king says that I love my son more than I love my crown. So this is what the whole story of Yotes Kislev is really about. This point: spreading Kabbalah to the masses, spreading Hasidus to the masses, specifically Hasidus, because Kabbalah itself is not for everybody, but Hasidus, which is the secrets of Torah, in a way that's relevant to everybody. So that the whole story of Yotes Kislev is all about this. It's all about that. Is it something which is the people are worthy? Is it something which is the people are not worthy about? So So after he was released, so then he understood this as a sign that he's being called upon to do it even stronger, to do it even more, that we won, and that now we need to bring the Geula. We need to do whatever we can do to spread the Torah of Hasidus, to spread the secrets of Torah to the world in a way that's going to heal them. Okay, so what is the secret of Hasidus? What is the essence of Hasidus? What is it that we're really talking about? So the a couple of things that I want to speak about, and that is that number one, that the first thing that Hasidus puts on the table is that there is, just like in a human being has a body and a soul, so the Torah also has a body and a soul. And this is something that it says in many early sources that it even says in the Gemara that the halacha is the body of the Torah, and the mysticism is the soul of the Torah. So a person can be learning a lot of halacha, can be learning a lot of Gemara, learning a lot of stories, and so there it's good. Like for some people that's enough. For some people just like learning just tell me what to do and I'll do it, and for a lot of people that's okay, but you have like a deeper kind of person that but why? I don't get it. Just that's stupid. Why should we do these dry things? And if you don't tell me how it's relevant, if you don't tell me what this makes the difference, so then I'm not interested. I'm not okay with that. I'm not on board with a Judaism that's just a body. It's just like this is the how-to guide to being a Orthodox Jew, and tell me why we're doing this. Tell me what's the relevance. So the first thing is that the neshama of the Torah is that we're talking about God, we're talking about divinity, we're talking about our connection to Hashem. Okay? And to understand that there is an underlying meaning to everything in the halacha, that everything in the physical world that has an underlying spiritual meaning that is relevant to ourselves. Okay? So for example, that if I'm learning about some story, I'm learning about Abraham, and so from a halachic perspective, from a modern Orthodox perspective, from a Litvish perspective, so that we're learning a story. You have to learn history. You have to learn. This is the story of our people. He who does not learn history is doomed to repeat it. That makes sense, right? And then Chassidus comes and says that Abraham, that's you. That's you. There's a little Abraham inside of you, and there's this what he brought into the world. So that energy is inside of you, and you are a result of every single story of Abraham. It's all going inside of you. And this is true about Abraham, this is true about Yitzchak, this is true about Noach, this is true about Adam, this is true about there's no mitzvah in the Torah that when you're learning Chassidus, then every single halacha that you're learning, every single story that you're learning, so the first question you ask is, what does this mean for me? What does this mean for me? That every single word in the Torah is eternal. If there's something which is seemingly just something which is relevant to the Beis Hamikdash, so if you're yeshivish, you say, okay, so I have to learn it because I'm hoping that there's going to be a Beis Hamikdash, because there's a mitzvah to believe that there's going to be a Beis Hamikdash soon, and so when there's going to be a Beis Hamikdash, then you're going to need to know how to do this, and so I'm learning it because I'm going to be the rabbi, and I need to know what they're going to say when they ask me what should I do about this paraduma. So I need to know the halachas, and that's true. And for some people that's enough. But Chassidus says that no, you don't understand. that this is talking about something which is relevant to you. This is symbolizing energies that are relevant in your present day life. And this is teaching you something. And the whole reason why, when you have a base of Mikdash, and you have to take a paraduma and like this, like this, and like this, and like this. So it's all because this represents that, this represents that, and it's all going on inside of us constantly. Okay? So this is true with every story. This is true with every mitzvah, that there is nothing that is not relevant to us, and it's all. And this is what makes everything in the Torah extremely, extremely relevant. There's a song that's became popular a couple of years ago from Hanan Ben Ari called Cholem K'mo Yosef, and this is really the idea of the song, that Kol Adam Migurash Min Gan Eden, that everybody that every story that happens, it's that every story that we read in the Torah, so that's you. And it's you that's being expelled from Gan Eden. It's you that's going through a flood, and it's you that's the. And then he says, "V'gam ani cholem k'mo Yosef," and I also dream like Yosef. Because I also got thrown in the pit. That when I read about Yosef being thrown into the pit, I realized that, hey, that's me. The Torah's talking about me, and that everything suddenly becomes relevant. Okay, so the thing about Hasidus is that everything, there is an underlying, on a simple level, when the Torah is telling you stories, it's telling you stories because you need to know the stories, because this is the story of our people. But there's also a neshama going on. The neshama of the Torah is that this is happening in you this very moment. Right? 3,000 years later, so this is still happening to you. This is stories that are constantly recurring. So this is a very simple thing that to start to bring about the ruchnius, the spiritual element of every single thing of the Torah. That there's no such thing as just a story. There's no such thing as just a halacha. That there is nothing in Judaism which is not extremely relevant to my life. Okay? And this is the first element of Hasidus. This is really on a deeper level. So this is what the Torah really means. That I'll tell you two things. There's a halacha. There's a halacha in when you're writing a Sefer Torah, when you're writing a mezuzah, when you're writing tefillin, when you're writing a megillah, when you're writing. So there's a halacha that there needs to be space on the outside of the page. That there needs to be like a little bit of clef, it's called, parchment, at the surrounding the things that you're writing. So like, for example, so the end of a mezuzah, so it says Kamei Shemayim Al Haaretz. So if you're writing Haaretz over here, so like this tzaddik, so like I did it to the end of so this is not kosher because the tzaddik went to the bottom. Right? You have to leave a little bit of space. Okay? So what's the idea? What's the idea that you have to leave a little bit of space? So I once heard this idea that the reason why you need to leave the space is because that around, this is the Beis and Bereshis. So that they're around this is the bet that's being written. But around there's a white bet, and so if there's no space under the parchment, so then you have a black bet, but you don't have a white. You don't have a white bet, right? So there's something lacking in the Torah because you have a black mezuzah, but you also need to have a white mezuzah. Okay, and the mezuzah isn't kosher unless it has the white mezuzah. And this is true with the Sefer Torah, that every element of Torah, every word in the Torah, so then there's the black that it's saying, and then there's the white, which is also needs to be there. So what is this white Torah that's going on? So the thing about this white Torah is that there's this underlying message. There's underlying message that the Torah is between the lines. That it didn't say it, but it's screaming it. Okay, and there was a Rebbe that said that when he first became Rebbe, so his biggest prayer was that I should be able to answer the questions that Chassidim aren't asking me. Right? That that there's always there's the thing that I'm saying, and I always joke about Rabbi, what according to halacha, are you ever allowed to commit suicide? So just curious. So, but seriously, sometimes a person will will ask something else entirely, but something else unrelated. Let me say unrelated, but really, what they're trying to say is that Rabbi, I'm ready to give up, and just this is my cry for help, and you think that I'm just asking you about what to do if my roommate told me that I need to return this because it's not kosher. Really that's their way of saying that I'm dying. And so there's the black Torah, there's the white Torah. There's the black Torah, which is what's written very clearly, and then there's the white Torah, which is something that you can't really see clearly, but it's really the underlying scream of the Torah. Rabbi Nachman has a story called the story of the lost princess, and there's a point in the story where the princess leaves the person that's trying to rescue her. She leaves him a note, and it says that she leaves him this note. It's a note of tears. She writes him a letter of tears. So everybody's talking about what does it mean, this letter of tears. So I once saw that he's referring to a passage in the Gemara. The Gemara is talking about the last 8 psukim of the Torah. That the last 8 psukim of the Torah. So there's a question: who wrote the last 8 psukim of the Torah? Because the last 8 psukim of the Torah is when Moshe Rabbeinu dies, and as the question is that if Moshe Rabbeinu wrote it, so how could he write something that's not true? You can't say and then I died because you're still alive. But on the other hand, if Yeshua wrote it, so then it says that Moshe Rabbeinu he says that he wrote the whole Torah, so that's a contradiction, right? So the Gemara has an opinion that Moshe wrote it, but he wrote it b'dema. He wrote it with tears. He wrote it and then after he died, then Yeshua wrote it more clearly. Okay, that's the simple understanding of the Gemara. However, the Arizal, he has a different explanation of this Gemara. That when it says b'dema, the word dema also has another connotation in Hebrew, and that is that he wrote it mixed up. Okay, what do you mean that he wrote it mixed up? So he refers to a statement of the Ramban. The Ramban writes that really the entire Torah is all the names of Hashem. It's all the names of Hashem. That's why even if you have a letter that doesn't seem to make a difference, it doesn't seem like we would get it. It just seems to be just an unnecessary letter. But there is no letter in the Torah that can go. We can live without it, and that is because everything is really the names of Hashem. Okay, so everything in Torah is the names of Hashem, and so that's why even this most unimportant letter is also necessary, because it's also something which is it's like Hashem is missing from His name. So the thing is that this is that there is a Torah of before creation. There's a Torah of before creation. It says the Torah existed. It says many generations, thousands of generations before the world was created. And so everybody's asking what's it mean? Before the world was created, it said that they were gonna eat from the tree of knowledge. It said already that they're gonna. That's absurd. Of course they were living it as it was happening. It didn't say it in any book before. There's no book that says what we're gonna do. So they explain that the Torah of pre-creation, so that's the Torah of divinity. That's the Torah of Hashem's names. And it's a little bit of a different order. The letters are in a different order, but that's really the essence of the Torah. And so then, when Moshe Rabbeinu was writing the Torah down with ink, then when he was writing the black Torah, so then he was turning this white Torah he reorganized the letters, the letters that originally were just the name of Hashem. He reorganized them and just to put them into something which is and if you have milk and meat, so don't eat it together. And when you wake up in the morning, you should put on tefillin, and you should not eat pork, and you should not speak lashon hara. And that's the same letters that before there was a world were saying just names of Hashem. So when there was a world, then they translate it into a way of life. Okay? But these things they're actually interrelated. And that's what the Rizal says when it says that he wrote B'dema. What it means is that he was writing in the mixed up fashion, meaning he was writing the Torah in the fashion that it was before the world was created. So that he wrote the Torah. He just didn't write it in a way that the physical world is ready for, because I'm still alive. So the physical world is not ready for this message that and then Moshe Rabbeinu died. So he wrote it in the pre-creation way. Okay, that's what it means B'dema. So when Rav is talking about the princess writing this letter with a letter of tears, so what it means is that this is the Torah of pre-creation. This is the white Torah. This is the Torah that is not spoken, the Torah which is not expressed, and this is the underlying theme of the entire Torah, and that is that in the story of the princess, so the princess is begging the hero of the story, please just save me, just find me, redeem me, and so this is the Torah says 613 different things of how we're supposed to be religious Jews, but there's an underlying theme, and that is that the princess, the Shekhinah, is crying out, please find me, express me, rescue me, and this is the Geula of Chag HaGeula, the Geula of Yad Kislev is the Geula of the Neshama, is the Geula of the princess, is the Geula of the white Torah, of this secret Torah, of the Torah of pre-creation, which is really the Torah which speaks to our Neshama. So that's why the Torah of Hasidus is something which speaks to our Neshama. It's something that we have we're just this generation of zombies that's just waiting for something to pierce our hearts, and the only thing that can pierce our hearts is to take the crown jewel and crush it and give it to us, and Hashem knows that it's okay. We don't deserve it. We don't deserve to know this, to connect with this amazing Torah, but He knows that this is the only thing that can bring us back to life. Okay, so this is like what really Hasidus is is really all about. So now, this is why that in Chassidus when they give Torah, they call the Torah that Divrei Elokim Chaim. They call the Torah of Chassidus is described as like it's the abbreviation as Daled Aleph Chet. So if you ever see that this is the pamphlet of Daled Aleph Chet, stands for Divrei Elokim Chaim, the words of a living God. And this is when we're giving over Torah. So I'm giving over God. I'm giving that you got a piece of God inside of you. Like when you learn from a real tzaddik, when you learn from, or even unfortunately I'm not a real tzaddik, but I can give you over the Torah of real tzaddikim. So, but when you get the real tzaddik, when you get the real things, then you got a piece of Hashem inside of you. There's something woke you up. Okay, so now this is precisely what Hasidus is all about. It's about talking to your neshama. Okay, so now once a person asked the Baal Shem Tov himself that what is the novelty, what is the revolution of Hasidus? What did Hasidus put on the table that wasn't already there? And so the Baal Shem Tov told a story that there was once a great what's it called, blacksmith, and he was the greatest blacksmith in the whole country. And so once the king, so he had a special order that he needed to be done, and he heard that he's the best blacksmith, and so he asked him if he could do something, and he said, His Highness, I'm sorry, I'm very busy, I can't do it right now because I have so many things, but I'll send you my apprentice. My apprentice, and my apprentice he knows exactly what I do. He's been working with me, and he'll be able to help you. So the apprentice goes, and he comes back, after a week, and he says, "No, how'd it go?" He said, "I flopped. It was the most embarrassing thing in the world. Nothing came out. It was ridiculous. And he said, what do you mean? What do you mean nothing came out? What do you do? So like you use this utensil, this utensil, you put it to the, and then you put the fire to the proper proper temperature. It says, fire. Dang, I forgot to light the fire. And so the Baal Shem Tov said that I didn't say anything new. That my Judaism is the exact same Judaism. It's just that I just reminded people that don't forget to light the fire. Okay? Rav Nosson Breslov said the same thing in a more New Yorky kind of way. He said that the difference between Judaism with Hasidus and without Hasidus it's the same thing. It's like the difference between a cold knish and a hot knish. that it's all there. All the ingredients are there. It's just felt the ganze time. So it's just like everything's missing. to eat it cold. It's just it's like you didn't eat it. You ate everything, but it's like you just missed everything. Okay, so that's what Chassidus is, just giving you all the tastes. It's all the heat. It's all the fire. And so the purpose of Chassidus is to just light up the fire. It's just like to remind us that we have a neshama and we have to wake up our neshama, and that is our starting point of Judaism. Like it's to start talking about our relationship with Hashem, that you have a neshama and you have to connect your neshama with Hashem, and it's not just about a bunch of rules. It's about your relationship, and that's really the fundamental thing of Chassidus. So now because this is the fundamental thing of Chassidus, so the way that we grow in Chassidus is fundamentally different than the way we grow without Chassidus. Okay, so what do I mean? That if you ask a non-Chassid, so like do you have any part of your day that's devoted to spiritual growth, to personal growth, to religious growth? So I say, of course, we have 20 minutes a day, half an hour a day that we learn Musar. Okay, so this is like everybody knows they have to learn Musar. It's a pasuk. Shema b'ni Musar achicha ve'al titash Torah semecha. So what's Musar? Musar is literally it's reins. It's a yoke, like the reins around the neck of a horse. And when I was in high school, there was a Rebbe. His name was Rabbi Dulitz. I hope he's still alive. Anyways, so he had a punishment. If somebody like this was misbehaving, so like the punishment was that for a week you have to come to school with a tie. And like one day when somebody asked him, like, Rabbi, like what's up with this? What's the point of wearing a tie? So he would say, I want you to feel like my hands are around your neck. So that like Musar is about like having this like noose, around us, and so it's about how to improve ourselves through force, and so like how do you improve yourself through Musar? You remind yourself who's the founder of the Musar movement? Anybody know? Rabbi Salanter. Rabbi Salanter. So he would say that like the way to learn Musar is to take something like a certain passage in Chazal and that really talks to you, and to just say it over and over and over and over again, and to just really dig it in, really like that it should really penetrate you, and just tell yourself over and over, and just to torture yourself with these words until it really rubs off. And so that's why the word Musar is connected to another word called Yisurim. Yisurim means afflictions, because really the way of growing through Musar is really painful. It's painful. It's painful to go through to grow through Mussar, because when we're the whole way that you're growing is it's always I'm going against myself. I'm going that like just stop, just don't do that. Just don't talk like that. Don't talk like that. Just wake up. If you don't wake up, you're gonna burn in hell. And if you say that, you stop. And there's a lot of force. That's the way that the world of Mussar is like just being very, very hard on yourself, being very, very tough on yourself, and like just getting yourself into shape of like get with the program, man. And that's the way the Mussar grows. The Mussar helps a person grow. Okay. Now Chassidus takes a different approach. Chassidus teaches that you know why you're not just obsessed with Judaism. It's because you're not so in touch with your neshama. So let me try to wake up your neshama. And when I wake up your neshama, then you'll just be dying for Judaism. It'll be, like Rabbi Nachman would say, that I want Hasidim that like he told his Hasidim, like you guys are okay, but like it's not exactly what I had in mind. Like I wanted people that are just screaming in the fields for entire nights, like animals, just screaming out to Hashem, just Hashem. Like just people that their souls are just so thirsty for God that they just can't control themselves. They're like I'm just dying for God. I'm just dying for spirituality. I'm just dying for Judaism. And when your soul is on fire, so then you don't need Mussar, right? So the derech of Chassidus is a different derech. It's a different way of getting to the same point. The point is that we're supposed to be good Jews, okay? And that there's one way of trying to become good Jews, which is the way of force, which is the way of you're gonna burn in hell, and there's another way of just lighting up your soul, okay? And so the purpose of Chassidus is that we should identify with our neshamas, that our neshamas should feel that this is me, that this is this is not something that I'm doing for somebody else. This is what I need. That I wake up this place inside of me that is thirsty for these things, that is dying for these things. One of the things when the Baal Tanya was in jail, so his life was in danger because really he was put in jail by the Misnagdim, by the anti-Hasidim, and the reason why the way that they got him to be incarcerated is because they told him that the Chassidus is not Judaism. It's a new kind of religion, and part of this new religion is that they're against you, that they're against the Tsar, and so he was being accused of treason, right? So he could absolutely be sentenced to life in Siberia, to life in jail, and he could absolutely be executed. And so the thing is that he was such a holy person that the interrogation actually went very well. And there's a million stories of all the different conversations that he had with the people in the jail, that they all looked at him as like a very godly man, a very holy man, and the questions that they asked him, like, Rabbi, could I ask you my question about? I had one of the story of Adam and Eve. I had this question, and he told the jailer that how old he was. So he made a good impression. He was a very savvy guy in jail. And so at one point there was the scariest part of the interrogation. They asked him to tell me something. Do you have any connection to Rabbi Yisrael Baal Shem Tov? And so the Batanya told afterwards that he had been doing very well. He'd been doing very well in the interrogation, and they loved him. And it would have been very, very simple for him to say, Baal Shem Tov? No, I'm not Baal Shem Tov guy. I'm just a Russian Jew. I'm just a rabbi. It's just Judaism. Yeah. Let's just. Have you pronounced well today? And no, that wasn't the thing yet. But he could have very easily gotten away without without his connection to the Baal Shem Tov. And he told his Chassidim that when the moment of truth came, he just couldn't bring himself to say that I don't identify with the Baal Shem Tov. It was something that he realized that to say that I don't identify with Baal Shem Tov was like saying that I'm not Jewish. And it was like his that my entire life is to be this. I would be completely betraying my identity to say that I'm not part of this. Like a similar story, that one of the Baltani's Chassidim. So he was very young, and he wanted very much to be able to have a meeting with the Rebbe, and so he he was waiting, like he spoken to the Gabbai. The Gabbai says, no, in a couple of years you'll be able to have a meeting with the Rebbe. Like you're too young, and so he wrote him a kvittl. He wrote him a letter, and he says, Rebbe, if I don't meet with you, I'm going to die. And the Rebbe understood that this is like he deserves to be a chassid of mine, and that is how the Baal HaTanya felt about Chassidus. That I to say that I'm not connected to Chassidus, that I'm just going to die, and his connection to Chassidus is his connection to his neshama. That he saw in Chassidus that I am a soul, and my entire existence is trying to connect with my source, and everything in life is all about that. And this is precisely what this new translation to Torah, this new commentary on Torah, this new taste of Torah. It's all about that. How can every single element of Judaism? How can it talk to my soul? How can it lighten me up? How can it put me on fire? How can it ignite my neshama to the point that I'm just going to realize who I really am? How can it wake me up from my slumber, and that I'm going to come out that, oh my gosh, that I'm actually a neshama. I'm dying for spirituality. I'm actually dying for connection, and that when I associate with this, then everything's easy. Then everything's easy. That Rav Avram Tversky, Zechron Livracha. So he would always say that he remembers that the way that his father was mechanechim, that the way that his father was whenever it would be something that they didn't do wrong, so he would never say like you're not supposed to do this. He would never say that like you did something wrong. The words that he would always say is es passt nicht. That it's not appropriate for you. That you're so great. Your potential is so amazing that it's not appropriate. Like if you would be a loser, so then I would say okay, that's what we got. But it's passt nicht. Like you're so amazing that this kind of behavior is like it's beneath your dignity. And so that's precisely what Chassidus is all about. That the Chassidus is meant to raise us. It's meant to identify with how holy we are, to identify with how awesome we are, to the point that it's simple. Of course, like, how could you speak Lashon Hara? You're like that's so beyond me. It's so beneath me. How could I separate from Hashem for even a moment? That's so beneath me. That's so betraying my essence. So this is the Torah that's at the Torah of the neshama, and this is really what the Baal Shem Tov meant. That this is about just lighting up the fire, and this is really what the Torah of Chassidus is meant to. It's the Torah, it's the white Torah, it's the pre-creation Torah, it's the Torah of Hashem, Torah of divinity. That it's only that Torah that can lighten up our souls like this, and so this is the celebration. This is the celebration of Yotes Kislev, and this is what it's through this celebration, through this identification, that yes, I am a chassid. That through identifying with the Torah of Chassidus is our way of identifying with our neshamas, and this is what the Baal HaTanya meant. That a person who's sameach b'simchasi, person who's happy with rejoices with my happiness of my redemption. So then he's going to be able to exit any meitzar. He's going to be able to come out of any exile, of any blockage, of any stuckness. And so this is what it means. That the reason why we're stuck is all because we're not connected and just being in touch with ourselves. So this is the thing that really breaks down all the barriers, and this is what brings the geula. This is what's going to free the hostages. So I bless us all that we should really be able to find this Torah and to connect with this Torah and celebrate with this Torah, and to really find this place inside of us that our neshamas are just on fire. Hashem. Chaim.